Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of One Crazy Story. I'm your host, Nate Armbruster, and sorry it's late. It's very cold where I'm at in Minnesota. I've been kind of bouncing around. I'm in Minnesota. I was in St. Paul last weekend at Laugh Camp Comedy Club. Great club, good times, couple of shows. We talked about that. I talked about the pull tabs in the last episode. The other show I did the day after that recording also went fine. I lost another round of pull tabs that night. I don't want to get into it. Bums me out, man. Don't gamble. Don't gamble, everybody. You'll just be disappointed, you know? Other than that, it's been a nice week, man. I've been spending the last 10 days in Minnesota, Minneapolis area, and it is cold. It's very cold. I went to a wedding last Friday, and it was a good time. It was a great wedding. I love a Friday wedding, man. I guess this was my first Friday wedding. Actually, no, it's the second one. No. I've been to a Sunday wedding, but this was my first Friday wedding. And man, for the longest time, I assumed a Friday wedding would be the worst thing because you got to figure. It's like everybody has Saturday off. You know what I mean? But Fridays can be hectic sometimes. People you got to work, you got to get out of work. Some people can't do that. I always thought it'd be hectic for the people you invite, but it actually wasn't. I actually see the benefit of having a Friday wedding. Now, I get it. If I were getting married, I would consider doing it on a Friday because the people that are there want to be there, You got to make it it's just annoying enough for the people that don't want to go, but the people you feel obligated to invite, but they're like, we can get out of this. We got to work, right? That's it. I just can't get out of work. Sorry, I can't be there. Like it gives someone an excuse, especially if it's someone that doesn't want to go or shouldn't be invited, but you have to do it. It's so funny how that's a thing for weddings. It's so dumb. It's like, can we just be adults? I'm not inviting you. Sorry. I don't want to feed. Weddings are so expensive. Some of the weddings I've been to have to, just outrageously expensive. I can't justify spending that kind of money on people. Just because I'm getting married, I have to feed 200 people? Why? A cash bar is probably the worst thing for a wedding, right? Nobody likes a cash bar. But even worse, I think a cash buffet. Could you imagine if you made everyone invited to your wedding buy dinner too? That'd be hilarious. You thought cash bar was bad, dude. Cash chicken. I gotta pay money to eat at your wedding, and you know what? You should too. I don't understand. All the major life events end up costing the people that the event is based around a lot of money. Weddings cost thousands of dollars. We're going to show our kids one day photos of the wedding, and they'll be like, were you broke? Like, you're married. It's a warehouse. You got married in a warehouse? Yes, and we paid thousands of dollars to get married in a place with no ceiling, Just it's called rustic, kids. It's just funny how the cooler the wedding venue, the less complete the building is. Been to a lot of warehouse weddings. That seems to be, or a barn. And somehow it costs 10 grand just for the venue. Are you kidding? $10,000 for a barn? 10 grand just for some photos in front of a barn. Weddings are expensive. I don't get it, man. I mean, if that's your thing, it's great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good wedding. It's a lot of fun, but damn, I also understand couples that are like, you know what? Fuck it. We're not doing that. I'm good. Just go to Vegas or something. A Vegas wedding makes more sense to me. Like a nice destination wedding. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but destination weddings, even crazier. Like a destination wedding on a Friday. How about that? That'll piss some people off. I think it's cheaper to get married on a Friday too. I haven't done the research, but I think I've heard that because it's not like a prime day to do it. So I get it. I would do it on a Friday. I just think it's funny that it's like, all right, it's our wedding. Now we got to buy dinner for 200 people. And I don't even know if I know that many people that I like enough to invite to my wedding. That's the other thing too, is you're basically buying dinner for people that you don't want to be at your wedding, but you gotta invite them kind of thing. Like your dad's work friend that you've never met. This guy and his wife, I gotta feed them and I gotta buy them drinks for what? Because I'm getting married? But then people are like, well, you got to have the wedding, and the money, the gifts pay for it. You know what I mean? People put money in the card and your wedding's paid for, your honeymoon's paid for it. I'm like, well, then what's the point of doing this shit? It's like, okay, yeah, I'll pay for the wedding, but you just got to put cash and we'll just pretend it never happened. Just give me some money and we'll call it even, you know? Funerals also expensive. That's another thing. I die. I'm not even going to be there to eat with you and I still have to buy, like, both my grandparents died last year. And both times the bill was still paid for by my grandparents. It's like they got to buy the family dinner at their own damn funeral. That's so funny to me. Just like everyone talks about how expensive it is to die, like funeral costs, things of that nature. And it is. It's outrageous. But the thing that bothers me the most, I'm like, no. If at my funeral, you guys are all buying your own damn dinner, man. I'm not paying for lunch. I just died. And the only way I can get you to come out to my funeral is if I buy you lunch. The wedding I went to Friday, it was like it wasn't a cash bar. And this is the first time I had been to a wedding that did it like this. And I actually appreciate it. It wasn't entirely cash, but they were like, okay, we got a couple kegs. Places, there's plenty of alcohol. Okay, don't be a shithead. And I get it because like the money, the financial part of my brain, this makes so much sense, and I have nothing but respect for the decision. And I think this is what I'll be doing if I ever get married. Is all right. Here's what we're gonna do. We got a couple of kegs. We got a craft beer, like a nice, we splurged a little. Okay, we're not cheap, but then we also went with the pretty standard domestic light beer for those who don't like craft beer. And then we got a couple wine options for people. And that's until it runs out, right? Open bar for those two only, right? The beer, the keg beer, and the wine. I'm into that because I can drink that. I like both. I'm not going to be picky. It's not my wedding. You know what I mean? I'll drink whatever is available. It's all good. But you want anything crazy, mixed drinks, cocktails, you got to pay for that shit. And I was like, when I saw the girl in front of me, like during they have the little cocktail hour, right? And I saw the girl in front of me. She's like, I want like a vodka soda or whatever the hell she ordered. And they were like, yeah, okay, that'll be 10 something or whatever. And she was like, ah. And the look of disappointment on her face was hilarious because she's like, fuck, I got to pay for this shit? She's like, all right, open the tab. Let's do it. She just threw her card down. And it's a wedding. You know, what are you going to do? You're going to be that picky? Just drink beer or wine. I mean, it's like, it's free. Who gives a shit? Free alcohol is free alcohol. I don't care if it's light beer. I don't care. I'm not going to be picky. Just let me know what I'm allowed to drink for free, and I'll do that. But it makes so much sense to me. And also, I did this thing. I felt like it was just the best way for me to monitor how much I was drinking. Because sometimes at weddings, man, you just get into it, and you're just drinking everything. You're just getting trashed. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh, did I have like 7 gins and 2? You're like, no, and that's the other thing. So the partial cash bar at least helped me from mixing alcohol, right? I'm not mixing tequila with beer, with wine. It's either one or the other, and I'll just stick to that one because I only have 2 choices, right? Wine or beer. I'm just drinking beer. That I made the call beginning of the cocktail hour. I'm like, okay, beer's free. I'm in. Just beer, light beer the whole night. That's what I'm going to do. And I think by the end, I had every cup stacked because I'm like, I got to count these because I'm not going to get obliterated, right? That was my goal. And I succeeded, by the way. I got to like 10, and I left it. I was like, this is good. And then I finally went back. They're like, we're out of beer, man. And I was like, all right, that's it. Not drinking anymore. And you know what? I didn't drink anymore. That shit works. A little bit of willpower and like, limitations. Like the bartender going, yeah, we're out of beer. And also, you know what? You know what else is great about a wedding is you always go to the bar after the wedding, right? You always go to the next spot. It's like, we're going out. Let's do this. We're all wasted. Let's go to another place and just keep being wasted. It's like, what are we going to this next spot for, man? It's just getting stupid now. You know, we go to the next spot. And of course, this is the other thing. And also, if you're the least drunk in the group, it's the worst because we didn't drive, right? We're like a mile. The hotel's like a mile from the venue. And nobody can find their phone. Nobody can find their significant others. Like, where's so-and-so? Where's my phone? I don't know. You want me to get the Uber? Okay, I'll get the Uber. Oh, good. This place is 900 feet away. We could walk. I would have walked, but the thing is, it's like -10 in Minnesota, and there's 2 bridges. There were 2 bridges to get to this bar, and it's only 900 feet away. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to do it. We're just going to splurge for the Uber. No sense in freezing, no sense in, let's just Uber. It's a wedding. Let's just do it, right? We cram everybody into the Uber. You know who orders it? This guy. because he's the only one coherent enough to unlock his phone. Yeah, $15 Uber, 900 feet to go 900 feet. $15, dude. That is the most first world. Like, I just paid $15 to go 3 football fields. That's nuts, man. That is. It's like it's almost. I almost feel bad, but then again, it's like, nah. Like, what else are you gonna do? By the way, on the way to the wedding, we're in the hotel. Get ready, right? We all go down. There's 3 of us, and one of us orders an Uber, right? Uber's 20 minutes away. We got to be there in like 10 minutes, or we're gonna be late for the ceremony. Always happens, and we cancel the Uber. I can't wait for this. Let's try Lyft. Up, same thing. 15-minute wait, and now it's like even later because of the time it took us to find a Lyft, right? And so we're stressing out. We're like, shit, we're gonna be late for this wedding. So I just go outside. I go out in front, and we're in downtown Minneapolis. I go outside. Right in front, there's a cab, and this is the most like you just realize you're a millennial when you look at a cab, and I'm like, is that a cab? And it was, because it wasn't an obvious cab. It was like a Chrysler 300. It was dark blue, but it had like the sign on the roof, and I can't tell. I'm like, is it in use? What's the word? You know what I mean? You know how there's like a vacancy sign essentially for a cab. See, this is the shit I don't know, because I'm from like suburbia, right? I grew up in like the suburbs. I never use a cab, and if I used a cab, I had to call a cab, and they were like, yeah, we'll get you one in 3 hours. And I'm like, where's every cab you have is in use? We're in suburban. It's never convenient to order a cab. You have to order a cab. We have to schedule it the day before. Even then, it's late. And then when it's late, you call the place. It's 6 a.m. They're not even open yet, so you just missed your flight. That was another story for another time, I guess. But there's a cab out front of our hotel in Minneapolis, right? Go up to the window, and I just stand there, and I kind of wave. Windows are tinted, and I'm like, all right, well, I don't know. Do I just do I just open the door? So fucking funny, man. This guy probably thought I was a moron. He's like, you never used a cab before? I'm like, we can't just open car doors, you know? That's how you get murdered or something. So we all get in. Turns out it is a cab, and we get in. Nice cab. It's almost like it's never been used. It was brand new, man. It had that new cab smell. Cab driver was cool, man. By the way, we're only going like a mile, and the Uber would have been like $15. Uber to the, I realize I'm all over the place, but the Uber to the wedding would have been like $15, $20 or whatever, right? We're halfway to the wedding, and the meter says like $8 or something. I go, man, this is going to be cheap. We didn't even pay $10 for this fucking cab ride, man. And nothing's more fun than getting to your destination, thanking your cab driver, and just saying, you know what, man, fuck Uber. I'm here for cab drivers, man. Cab drivers are the shit. Shout out to cab drivers who get people to weddings on time for half the price of an Uber. That was great, man. Came in handy. So anyway, there you have it. If you guys ever get a chance to go to a wedding on a Friday, do it. Take the day off. Use that PTO just to get hammered. Just do it. Use that PTO to go to a wedding. So where can you find me? I don't know. Social media. Everything is just at Nate Comedy. Easy to find me. I'm performing anywhere and everywhere in the next few months. So find me. Go find me. All my dates are online at Nate Comedy on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. And if you like the show, rate and review it on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify. I'll list them all. God damn it, I will. So thank you for listening, everyone. And I promise to be back with a new episode on Monday. We'll see you then.